Yo, what's up? Welcome, guys. In our previous video, we did our authentication and validation. In this video, we are going to generate token for our users, our login users, or registered users, so that they can access protected routes. Because we are going to protect some routes that only logged in users should be able to access those routes. So we want to generate a token for them on registration and even when they log in. So for now, we only have the registration route. So we're going to implement it in our registration route. If I open the documentation for JWT, for JsonWebToken, so this is JsonWebToken npm, we already have that installed in our package.json. So if I open the documentation, this is how to generate a token with JWT. Yeah, use the sign method to generate a token. This is the payload that is coming in. This is the secret key, and this is a callback function. So this is like a callback function if you actually want to pass a callback function. Okay, and no, not really. This is not callback function. This is like an options. Just like in validator where we have options to pass and min or max with. These like options, so we can pass in the expiry date when we want the token to expire, and this is a callback function. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to create a new file in our web middlewares. I'll call it jwt.js, and create let me call these headers. I prefer I call these headers because we're going to do everything in this file is related to headers. So headers. So create a class called headers. Export default headers. Export default headers. E head headers. Right. Okay. So JSDoc is missing. So as usual, we're going to write our JSDocs at description headers request at class is headers. Create a method to generate our token. It's going to be an asynchronous one. Generate token. So we're going to pass the request, response, and next because it's a middleware. So in the JWT token, I'd like to wrap it in a try and catch block in case it fails while generating token. It should catch the error. So as usual, error. So we're going to log the error dot message, and res dot status 500 something went wrong. 500 is internal server error. So but I returning something went wrong. Status status 500 message something went wrong. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to import the JsonWebToken. So I'll say import JWT from JSON. Sorry, JSON JsonWebToken. So I'll say JWT dot sign. Okay, so the first params it takes is a payload. As you can see, it takes a payload, an object, buffer, and a callback function. So the payload, what we want to pass as the payload, we want to get from the response we have these from the response. If you in our validation we have access to this, key here. So we are going to access this. Let me pretty much copy this here just to be. So this is what we are going to pass to the headers. We want to put in as the payload for the token, but you don't want to create const. Okay, paste. We don't want to pass in the password. We don't want to do that. Not safe. We only need the email to be added to it as the payload while generating the token, while generating the the payload. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say email. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's do it this way. What is all this? Okay, JsonWebToken. I mean JSDocs. The first one is an object. Second is an object. Let's leave that as any. Returns at returns object or string. It returns a string, which is a token for us. So let's say returns a string, which is a token. Description at description generates token. Okay. So where was I? Okay. Yeah. We want to pass in the token email as the payload. So we're going to pass in email. It pretty much should be an object. So email. Okay, and the next is secret key. If you can see, the next is a secret key. So I'm going to pass in the secret key. For now, it's hard coded. It should be in env. Then anyway, we have an env file, so let's just do it here. So I'll just call this JS JWT token. JWT underscore token makes more sense. Is equals to something random, like it shouldn't make any meaning. So it shouldn't make any meaning, so someone can guess this, this whole thing. No, no, just want something. Yeah, something like this makes more sense this way. So what I'm going to do, what I like to do is I like to save every constant in the config files. So some people like to create a new file called constant and then put in all their data there, but I'd like to do this in the config file. So let's create a new file called port. I'm going to move our port here. So process.env dot port or 4000. Okay, and JWT token is process dot env dot JWT underscore token. Okay, so I'm going to import this config here. Import from db config con, config slash config.js. So I'm going to import the JWT token. I'm going to pass it. Where is it? Yeah, I'm going to pass it in here as the JWT token. So this is nice. This is looking nice, but currently I don't like the way it is. So I'm going to have to do this way. Just going to have to do this way. User email user. Okay. Why pass the token? The next is like I said, is an option. So but in the example here, it says the algorithm. That's the hashing method we want to use. The hashing method we want to use to hash the code. But in our case, I don't need the default is okay by me. So I'm just going to pass in here. I'm just going to pass the time it should expire. So I'll say expires in So it's already is a method created in I mean it's a key created already. So while typing it you can see. So I would like this token to expire in the next 24 hours. So I'm just going to pass 24H. So that's 24 hours. And the next is a callback function. But so the next is a callback function. I'm just going to do this. So the callback function takes in an error and the let's just make it asynchronous. Since it's already an asynchronous method, there's no need for a callback. I forgot. So I'm just going to do this. Await const token. Okay, nice. So I'll say generates the token for us, and if there's an error, this is going to catch. If there's an error while generating a token, the catch will catch it. But since there's no error, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save this token in res.locals dot token is equals to token, and run the next middleware. Okay, this is pretty much it. And if I save this error is gone. Yeah. So at this point, you've created the method that generates our token for us, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to import it in our route. So I'm going to bring this here. So I'm going to bring in our JWT or our headers. Import headers from middleware headers. So from headers, bring in our generate token. So after the validation, that's after the validation is successful, generate a token for us. And then in our controller, so once it generates a token in our controller, I'm going to say res the locals, and I'm going to get from these locals also the token. So at this point, I'm going to return the token. Token is token. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And if I check if I create a new user, that's domain 6. Yeah. So user created successfully and it generated a token for us for that user. Nice. So if I show you this token, if I show you the token, the encrypted on JWT.io. So JWT.io is if you just it decodes your token for you and show you what is in your token, show you the data in your token. So the only thing the only payload we passed in our token is the email, right? So but other details is going to be added, other expired date, the expiry date, the date it was created, and other details will be added to it. While this is loading, let me yeah, this is okay, this is good. So let's go back, let's see if it's finished loading. Network's a bit slow. Wow, still loading. Okay, hey, yeah, the algorithm I was telling you about, this is it. So it depends on the hashing method you want to use. You can choose any. The default is I think it's HS2256, and I'm okay by that. And one more thing I discovered in this tutorial, pretty much do this. One more thing I discovered is I did not do validation for email, like if the email already exists. So same email can register as many as multiple. See, I can sign up with same email over and over again if I reload our database. refresh, you should see that same email, six dummy six dummy six. So we want to make sure the person signing check. We must make sure that the email being used to sign up, it doesn't exist in our database. If it does, that means your user is already registered on our system. They should go ahead and log in instead of signing up again. So we don't want that happening. So we want to check. Let me reload this page. I don't know why this is slow. So we want to check if the email already exists. So Sequelize has a method called find. If I show you the documentation, find. Um, Let me see. Control F, find. There's a method called find, and this is find all. This is to find all, but I need find. This is find by one. Yeah, so let's use find by one. Is pretty much it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say why the email before any of these happens, before hashing, before anything. We are going to say if user. We're going to say await because it's an asynchronous method. We want to check user dot find one. So find one takes in a where, that's to check where the email exists or where the email exists on our database. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say where email. So it's going to check where email exists. If the email exists, yeah. So I'm going to say const email exists is equals to this. So if the email exists, that's it's going to return. Let's see what it returns when an email exists. Then we'll know what to do. CLG email exists. Save. Yeah. So let me see. This email exists multiple times. So let me use the one that exists once. We'll clean our database for multiple emails. So if I see check here, it returns an object for us. So we are going to say we are going to convert it to an array as usual. So we are going to say if. So I'll say if email exists, that object dot keys. I mean object dot keys email exists dot length is not equals to 0. If it's not equals to 0, that means the email exists. So we want to return. Let me copy this. Control C. So we want to return. Then put a return statement here, so it doesn't return the next line. So we want to return email already exists, which is in our case something that already exists is what's the error status code for already exists. Let's just say 400. I'm not sure I remember. Let's just say 400 bad request. So if the email already exists, we'll say email already exists. No need for token. So I can remove this now and uncomment this. If it doesn't exist, sign up. But if it does exist, return email already exists for us. So if I go to our postman now and hit this route, email already exists. So 5 exists, but 7, there's no user with 7 in our database. If we sign up, something went wrong. Let's see what happened. It says cannot convert undefined or null to object. Okay, so at this point, email already exists is undefined. So we want to say if email exists. So I want to safeguard it. So this should only run when this is true. So at this point, email exists is false. So we want to safeguard it. So if I hit this, sign up successfully. Yeah. So if I hit this send again, definitely this user is already on our database. It should tell me email already exists. Yeah. So awesome. So our database, we've been able to generate token for a user. We've been able to check for when an email already exists for a user, so they don't sign up multiple times with same email address. We don't want that happening. And let's see if JWT has, so I can show you what it does. So yeah, so if I copy this token, oh, I need to create a new user. Wait, this guy is, the email here is dummy 8. So if I show you this, I show you this, Control A, Control V. So as you can see, we're passing our payload. So this is our payload, the email, and this is the time it was created and the time it's going to expire. So if you look at the highlights here, it says it was generated on Sunday 26 January 26. It's going to expire on Monday January 27. So it's going to expire in the next 24 hours. Anyway, so we've successfully generated token for a user, and check if a user exists. So before I close this video, it's something that I like to do. I like creating. I like the controller to be doing just a specific something. The controller should just be handling for creating user. I shouldn't be doing all these checks. So I'm going to create a helper here called new file. I'm going to say check. I don't even know what to say. I'll just say check.js. If you have a better name for it, let me know. But this is the thing in my head. Class check. So check email exists. So static. Is a static. There's no need for a class, so I'll just say export. I'll ignore ESLint on this. So const email exists. Const email exists. Let's just make this a middleware. Yeah, let's make it a middleware, preferably. Middleware, preferably. So I'm going to create a middleware called check, a new file called check now, middleware check.js. So this is going to be a class, definitely. Or anyhow, anyone. We can make it a function, we can make it a class, but let me just make it a class. Let me just copy this whole thing. I'm tired of writing this JS docs over and over again. Look for something. Control A, Control C, check, Control V. So this should be check, Control D, Control D, check. Yeah. So in the check, this is check if exists, something like that. If exists makes more sense this way, and we don't need all this. We don't need all this. So I'm going to, yeah. Do I need it? Yeah, I need it in a catch, try and catch block. I'm just going to remove all this. Check if it exists. Yeah, this is okay. Remove this and remove this. So this is going to, I'm going to import. I should have left the user model. See, check. Okay. That's it. So what this middleware is going to do for us, now this should be check email exists. Check if email exists. I think it's pretty much explanatory with the name. Check if email exists. Yeah. So what this is going to do, and it's going to take a nest because it's a middleware. So I'm going to pass it here. Nest. So what this is going to do for us is going to This is going to do our validation for us. It's going to do the check. So we just pass it in our route. It will check if the email exists. It breaks at this point. It stops at this point. If it doesn't exist, it runs the next middleware. So if it doesn't exist, it should just run next, which is to create the user. Yeah. So I'm going to remove this from here. Where is it? Email exist. So I'm going to remove this from here. This should just be creating user alone. Shouldn't be doing any other thing apart from creating users. Then in our routes, user route, I'm going to import it. Check, check. So middleware, check. Yeah. So and the check middleware. That's check if email exists, right? Check, check if email exists. So after validation, before generating token for the user, let's check if the email exists first. Yeah. So save this. Should still be working similar. So 8 is already signed up on our database. So if I hit this route, email already exists. So if I check for 9, 9 doesn't exist. So you should sign up. Successfully signed up. Check again. Email already exists. Yeah. So awesome. So our middleware is working fine, and everything seems to be working great. Yeah. So this is just how to keep things simple. Every code should, like, a function shouldn't be doing more than one thing. A method shouldn't be doing more than one thing. But this method should be specific to just doing only this. This is just specific to just doing only this. So I want this to just be creating user. I shouldn't be doing any other checks and other things. So for checking email, should have its own method. Checking, just to keep things modularized, simple SRP. Think that's following an SRP process, single responsibility principle. Awesome. So that's it from me, guys. I think this video is pretty much long, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Bye.